What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on.
And guys, for today's video, again, I have a mind-boggling news. First of all, I will show you the letter that was written just yesterday by Exponential Hydrocarbons by Greg McCabe, and I have to admit that it is quite interesting letter. But, well, in the light of the most recent updates in one of the litigation processes that I covered just yesterday, well, I have to admit that it is very difficult to believe to Greg McCabe, and I will show you what I'm talking about. On top of that, guys, I have a pure evidence that, well, it couldn't be a short squeeze back in December of 2022. It couldn't be a short squeeze of MMTLP shares by any means, and I can clearly prove you this fact. And, well, I have to say that if you like my videos, please hit the like button, and if you want to know more about technical analysis, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Patreon account. And guys, for now, you can join my Patreon account, you can join two tiers of my Discord group. One of them costs you $50 a month, and you will have 30-minute one-on-one Zoom call once a month. But if you join with the gold tier, you will have a weekly one-on-one training session with me for just $150 a month. And guys, to be honest, this is the most popular tier for my patrons right now. And let me show you a sneak peek on the most recent activity in the Discord group. Just recently, I published the recap of the week of July 28th through August the 3rd, and let me quote you this. On Monday, I prepared a list of 13 tickers that looked most promising for short positions. As of August the 6th, 10 of them delivered returns ranging from 0.33% to 24.4%, an average profit of 6.1%, while only 3 tickers showed a potential loss between 0.85% and 1.74%, an average loss of 1.22%. More detailed information is available in the attached images. And you can see that I made this call on July 28th, and I wrote, here's a list of tickers that might present shorting opportunities. Please remember, this is not a blind trade signal. Further technical analysis is required before taking actions. And here is the list of the tickers that gained substantial profits. It is 10 of them, and only 3 went in completely opposite direction. I also gave a direct short scalping recommendation on Tesla and Oracle. Both brought an average profit of around 1.5%. In addition, I identified one ticker suitable for a medium-term short position. If you'd like to know which company that is, join my Patreon. As usual, I provided a detailed market overview and analyzed the following tickers: SPY, BBAI, NOV, UNP, NEO, UAA, and CRWV. So guys, if you want to be a part of this amazing community, join my Patreon. So, and let's begin with this news. Junk Savvy just 15 hours ago wrote this: the MMTLP fiasco, day 1000. A message from Greg McCabe, CEO and Chairman NextBridge Hydrocarbons. We shall let everyone know, whether they wish us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose and foe, to assure the survival and the success of our company. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. And guys, I have to admit that, well, these type of letters on the one hand are very inspiring, and let me first of all show you all the details about this letter. So it was written just less than 24 hours ago, and it was signed by Greg McCabe. A message to all loyal NextBridge Hydrocarbons shareholders. Guys, all loyal is quite interesting to see, because he understands that some shareholders are not happy to be the shareholders. Well, Let me start from the very beginning. On this 1000-day mark since FINRA's U3 halt, I believe it is not only fitting but essential that we participate in the Day of Positivity being organized by our devoted online activist shareholder community, the dedicated and formidable MMTLP army. A day to breathe deeply, cherish our health, embrace our families and friends, and to reflect with gratitude on the role we are playing in something larger than ourselves, something vital in fact to the security of our nation. I am reminded of the old saying, may you live in interesting times, for we most certainly do. It continues to be one of the greatest honors of my life to serve as a CEO and chairman of NextBridge Hydrocarbons. These years have brought challenges beyond imagination, but also moments of profound inspiration. And so, on this day of positivity, I want to share my gratitude with three distinct groups for whom I hold the deepest respect. First, to the entire MMTLP army. I am humbled to stand as a member among you. In my more than 4 decades in business, I have never encountered such a determined, brilliant and unyielding group of warriors. The world now knows this with certainty. The MMTLP army never sleeps. Second, to the fellow shareholders I have been privileged to meet personally. Though none of us would have chosen this surreal trial, I am deeply thankful for everyone who continues to stand shoulder to shoulder with me in this battle. Together we have forged a bond that will not be broken. What began as a fight for justice has become a fellowship of loyalty, courage and friendship that will echo long after this battle is won. Third, to my fellow citizens, though the wheels of justice may grind slowly, I remain grateful that we fight this fight in America, the greatest country in the world has ever known. Imperfect as it may be, America still stands on the principles of truth, justice, and the rule of law. History tells us that in the end, America gets it right. And so, as we mark this 1000-day anniversary, let us recommit to each other and to our cause. I would like to borrow and paraphrase the words of John F. Kennedy, but tailor them to the spirit of the MMTLP army on this occasion. And here's the direct speech, here's the words of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. We shall let everyone know, whether they wish us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of our company. Stand tall, stay strong, keep the faith, our time will come. With respect and loyalty, Greg McCabe. And guys, to be honest, this type of letters, and this letter in particular, is very inspiring. And in my opinion, I will show you some details about the actions that were made, that were done by Greg McCabe himself and his friends to you, to the MMTLP shareholder, within just a minute. But first of all, let me show you some comments from the community members. So, Trading Secrets Ali, the person who is also making a lot of videos in regards to MMTLP story, wrote this. Greg McCabe states, we will pay any price to assure the survival and the success of our company. He believes America still stands on the principles of truth, justice and the rule of law, and in the end America gets it right. The MMTLP investors across the world need to see actions and not words from the US government, members of Congress, regulatory authorities and the courts to make this true. And again, guys, to be honest, a lot of very inspiring words, but not so much that has been done since it happened. And Jennifer Vitrana wrote this. I wonder if truth means avoiding and concealing information from shareholders. Ali, you are so full of crap. Please exit stage left with saffron sundial. Well, saffron Sunday is another so-called name of a bird lady, and well, if you Google it, you can see that under this name she performed quite interesting actions, but it is not related to MMTLP story at all. Let me show you another quite interesting update that was written by Junk Savvy. Here you can see that Metamaterials bankruptcy judge resigns from case assigned to new judge Gary Parker. Trot Spears hearing scheduled for today cancelled. And well, we have new judge, but here's some interesting details. First of all, let me show you that the judge Jennifer Vetrano wrote this right after Junk Savvy wrote her tweet. Recused, not resigned. And she added this. Grok's answer. What would be the reason why Judge Hillary Barnes recuses herself on the same day that Spears and Trot were supposed to speak to her in bankruptcy court? Below, I address possible reasons for recusal and the context of being timing with Spears and Trot based on judicial ethics, federal law, and the case's context. Possible reasons for recusal under 28 U.S.C. paragraph 455 and judicial ethics. A bankruptcy judge like Hillary L. Barnes might recuse themselves for the following reasons, which could hypothetically align with the timing of a scheduled hearing involving parties like Spears and Trot. And here are several reasons. I believe it is 6 of them. Yes. Conflict of interest. First one. Second one is prior professional involvement. Third one, appearance of impropriety. Next one, personal bias or knowledge. Next one, external pressure or timing. And the last, administrative or procedural issues. And guys, I have to admit that all these issues might be the reason why this judge recuses herself, and you have to diversify the word recuses and resigns. Definitely it is a completely different story, and well, I have to admit that we have even a comment from Daniel Spears, the part of the potential upcoming hearings. Here you can see Roman Supes wrote this just less than 24 hours ago. Anybody listening to the MMAT bankruptcy hearing to see if the trustee and Wes Christian are getting kicked out by Scott Trott and Daniel Spears? Any court-authorized replay? And Jennifer Vetrano wrote, the judge recused herself today, so a new judge is going to speak to Scott and Daniel very soon. Stay tuned. And Daniel Spears herself wrote the following. The judge recused herself, hearing was cancelled. Judge Spraker was assigned the case, and I'm waiting for notification of the new court hearing. And she also wrote this herself, and it's not a bad thing whatsoever. She recuses herself. It likely means she felt she could not be impartial. She could have recused herself for multiple reasons. I'm not upset, it gives me time to file more documents. And Roman Supes responded, thanks Daniel for clarifying, we get exciting at things. Good to see the judge wants to get another judge to decide. Best of luck pleading your case. Definitely, I wish best of luck to all of our community members who have an active lawsuits. And guys, let me show you quite interesting details. First of all, let's get back to the letter that was written by Greg McCabe, and let me remind you that just yesterday, we have an update in Daniel Oxer's case that literally blew my mind. Yesterday I covered some details about this case, but let me remind you, and here is the verified material fact. I want to highlight just the titles and some details in regards to these actions. So First of all, I want to show you and I want to tell you that Greg McCabe created a bunch of companies that were made intentionally to hide the fact that all the assets, all oil and gas assets that were transferred to MMTLP, well, this transfer was made illegally. And here's the verified material facts. Let me quote you one by one. The Arabella matter: APC fraudulently transferred the assets to MPC. This was the first action that happened back in 2014, and this was the assets that at the end of the day was the assets of MMTLP. Let me show you under the subtitle B. We have this. McCabe's 2.1 million settlement confirmed the transfer was fraudulent and timed to avoid Torchlight litigation. And here is the direct speech from one of the recent cases. The trustee has asserted that the subject leases were fraudulently transferred to McCabe Petroleum and seeks to settle these claims for a cash payment of $2.1 million. And this money was paid by Greg McCabe in order to hide this information. Next one, under the subtitle C. The leasehold assets were transferred through insider-controlled entities to obscure origin and retain royalty interests. Next one, under the letter D. Torchlight capitalized on assets that were fraudulently transferred and legally void. Next one, under the letter E. The Meta merger and NBH spin-out was structured to obscure title defects and enrich insiders. And guys, everything that is mentioned in this case, well, proven by the previous actions and proven by the documents that you can find in the same exact docket. Next one. F. The MMTLP trading halt and Meta bankruptcy rendered plaintiffs' securities permanently illiquid. Next one, regulatory inaction, disclosure failures and ongoing public harm. And guys, this is the crucial part, one of the crucial parts that can be the path to the resolution. Let me explain you in details. First of all, we know that it was a lot of shady actions. It was made a lot of shady actions by the wrongdoers. And you can say that these wrongdoers were the members of board of directors of NextBridge, Torchlight and other related companies. Or you can say that these wrongdoers were FINRA and SEC. From my point of view, guys, let me explain that, well, SEC and FINRA definitely have to be accountable for these actions, or I would say inactions, because well, they did close to nothing in order to prevent all this harm to MMTLP shareholders. And guys, a lot of you were awaiting for the short squeeze that should have happened back in, well, at the end of trading sessions in the very beginning of December of 2021. But what if FINRA hadn't stopped trading, but the short squeeze wouldn't have happened? Guys, let's imagine that we are in the very beginning of December of 2022 and today is December the 12th, the last day of trading, and we don't have any U3 halt from FINRA. And at the same time, the price of NextBridge hydrocarbon shares goes below $1 mark. We know that before the U3 halt, the price was roughly $2.87 or $2.84. And let me show you that, well, I can prove you that we couldn't wait for the short squeeze. And let me show you why I'm pretty sure about this. First of all, let me show you the most iconic short squeeze of GME and AMC stocks. Here is the GME stock, and let's zoom out to the dates in January of 2021. So here is the short squeeze that happened at the very beginning of January of 2021. You can see that, well, if I make it like this, if I cut the dates on January 25th of 2021, you can see that right before the short squeeze, right before the substantial increase in volume and substantial increase in price, we didn't have any decline in price more than let's say from this point to this point more than 28%, or from this point to this point more than 24%. And we have consistently higher highs and higher lows for several consecutive weeks. Let me show you the price action of AMC, and let me show you the same dates. Here is this price action. We have a consolidation, and right before the short squeeze, basically a couple of days before it, we had just 15, maybe 17% of downside movement, and when the volume spiked, you can see that the price was on its rise. But let me show you the most recent, the latest dates of trading sessions of MMTLP shares. From the very beginning of October to its highest point, it rose for 45. It's been rising for more than for almost 50 days, and it rose by 656%. But from this point, it went down right before the U3 halt was implemented, and it took 17 days to lost about 75% of its value. And guys, this movement to the downside was extremely harsh, and I made a video. You can find this video in the description below. I published it back in December the 7th, and I told you that you should avoid to be in this story, because I don't see any signs of short squeeze. Right before the U3 halt was implemented, you can see that the price drastically went down drastically, and we have an increase in volume, highly increasing volume. And this means, guys, it wasn't any signs of short squeeze. That is why you were fooled, and everything was made intentionally. But you have to find out who did it. And guys, just read the most recent dockets, the most recent updates that I cover in this video and yesterday's video, and you can see that, well, allegedly it was the people from MMTLP board of directors and Torchlight board of directors and Next Bridge board of directors. Moreover, we know that Greg McCabe paid a substantial amount of he first of all borrowed money from C-Plant, about $2 million, and just recently he paid back it with huge interests, and C-Plant received more than $2.5 million, and he made a false statement of the Orogrande leases of the oil and gas assets inside the Orogrande Basin in order to improve the intrinsic value of Next Bridge hydrocarbons. But guys, everything was made intentionally to fool you, and unfortunately, well, I see more and more evidence of this fact, and you can blame FINRA and SEC, but their only problem is the inactions during the huge problems that was happening for a long period of time for the company itself. That is why, guys, well, I think that's it for today's video, and if you like it, click the like button, and see you in the next video. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.